Jimmy's Jam Box. Keep jamming. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jam Box. We're here, back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. Before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And with that being said, here's a quick word about our sponsor.
Breakfast Buzz, a bright and full-bodied breakfast tea, an assertive blend of black tea originating in Assam, Ceylon, and Kenya. Breakfast Buzz is bold, with a smoky taste and a touch of peat, and is guaranteed to start the day off right. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies.
All right, thank you all for watching. Again, shout out Brothers Apothecary. The holidays aren't over. Click the link below. Go get yourself something. But now, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hey, I'm T-Rav.
Hey, I'm Alex.
I'm Marty, and we're Nowhere Fast.
Hello. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and start at this end again. Go ahead and just give us a quick intro of who you all are individually.
My name's Travis. I play drums.
I'm Alex. I play guitar and I sing in the band.
I'm Marty, and I play the fiddle. No, I play guitar.
Hell yeah.
The Git fiddle.
The Git fiddle. Yeah. The classic.
Fiddle. Yeah.
Do you ever bring one of those little ebos out?
You have given me inspiration, too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Will now.
Early. Hell yeah, I love it.
I'm not happy with you now.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I've caused turmoil. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how y'all got started individually? And actually, let's start at this end. Like, what got you into music initially?
Sure, yeah. When I was a kid, 14 years old, my dad took me to a pawn shop, and he was in there to buy guns, I think. I was there to look at guitars, so yeah, he bought me a guitar.
The duality of man.
Yeah. So he bought me my first guitar. It was a Hamer Slammer, I remember.
Okay.
And went home. First song I ever learned was Kryptonite.
Classic.
And still play it to this day. And that's the only thing I
how you
play.
start your day.
Yeah, that's all of our songs. It's just the Kryptonite riff.
It's like 60%
Faster or
of
slower?
our practices is just him playing it.
Okay.
So I was in a pop punk band in high school, metal band for 10 years called All I Ask. We did that for a while, took a break, did a solo project during the pandemic, and I was actually on Craigslist looking for a band to play my solo album.
Interesting.
Came across the ad for these guys, and here we are.
You're the second person to mention Craigslist as a way to find band members.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till my turn.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's hear you.
Yeah, so same thing, age 14. I played clarinet before that and didn't have any friends and decided I wanted friends and to be cool. So I thought guitar was probably the way to go. So I went out and bought my first guitar. It was a BC Rich Bitch. Still have it. It's under my bed with burn marks and scratches. And
What color was it?
it is black with like a white
Yep.
trim.
Yep. I know exactly which one you're talking about. That uncomfortable lower cut and everything.
Yep.
Ugh.
So I played guitar just by myself for fun for a long time. And then 2011 started a metal band where I was lead guitar. Turned 21, learned I could sing by being forced to do karaoke. And I was like, wait, this changes everything.
New world.
This changes everything. Yeah, exactly.
The song?
No, it was I'd Do Anything by Simple Plan. I remember that.
Okay.
'Cause I was terrified.
Okay.
But then, so I moved to Alaska, started a new band. I was like, I'm going to be a singer now. Gave up guitar, barely played it. And then cut to this. I see a Craigslist ad from a shady individual that plays drums. Looking to start a pop punk band. So I was like, I don't really want to play guitar, but I'll do it for now. And I can sing.
Yeah.
And so now, 3 years later, I play guitar and I sing.
We won't let him not play guitar.
Is it because he's too good, or do you just need that additional to support the voice? No, I'm kidding.
He is better at
That's not
guitar
it,
than
no.
I am, for sure.
I'm sure he's better than me as well.
He's very, very good at guitar, and he makes me very ashamed to be a guitar player.
You're a better writer.
Oh. It's not that kind of couchy. All right, and then to round it out.
So I started playing drums around 3 or 4. My dad had a music room in the house I grew up in. So me and my brother would always play songs, always play like stupid songs.
Like kryptonite.
And then, in high school was my first band. I met one of my buddies named Kendall. And just started a band how normal people would. He was like, oh, I play bass. And I was like, oh, cool, I play drums. So we started jamming. He was like, I know a guitar player friend. So he came and jammed and started the first band that played shows. We played at the old Paris Theater in Portland.
Oh, yeah.
Like back when it was,
Hell yeah.
before it was all renovated and stuff, it was like this, shitty carpeted stage, like with nothing on the inside. And it was
Like
really
lightly
fun.
dilapidated, but
Yeah,
still
like this
functional.
super weird, like front door, like this little skinny hallway, and you walk down and there's nothing there. But yeah, we had that was kind of short lived, but that was like the first shows I ever played.
Oh yeah.
And then just band after band since then, and got to a band called Simon Says Die, which was a metal band here. And we got pretty far. We went on like 3 tours, like around the whole west
Oh damn.
side of the country. We did a lot of cool shows. We did All That Remains. We've done Smile Empty Soul. We've
Okay.
done OTEP a few times. We've done Escape the Fate a few times. Static X when you were there. So we got pretty far.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah. Long story short, that ended up ending, and then I started a band called French Letters, and then Nowhere Fast. Here we are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You all kind of had stints in metal bands. Did your bands ever play together at any point?
It's really funny you mentioned that. I was like wanting to jump in because I'm pretty sure my old band, All I Ask, played with Simon Says Die, or at least Across the Sun did.
Across the Sun did, yeah. Because he told me that, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, Simon Says Die sounds familiar to me.
Oh, for sure. They were big.
Yeah, I'm I'm trying to pinpoint where I had seen it, but I don't think that I ever got to see y'all. But that's
our Portland shows were. I mean, we always, because the promoter would give you tickets, your pre-sale tickets, so we would go back for like 2 or 3 rounds, just selling them out. Yeah,
Damn.
So it was really fun. It was a really fun time.
Oh yeah.
Still on Spotify. Check it out. It is still really good music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah. And then this one will just kind of be anybody from the group can answer, but how did the band initially get started after that initial Craigslist experience?
So initially, Travis posted the ad, and is that how you found Jordan as well?
Yeah, because French Letters took a break. Like, long story short, we took a hiatus for a while, and then I was like, well, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I was like, oh, let's start another band. Kind of put the feels out there. And then I think you and Jordan answered it.
Yeah, so we met up sort of, I don't know, I want to say like 7 months into the pandemic. And it was a guy named Jordan. He was on bass. He came to a few practices. Wasn't really his thing, which is fair because I showed up for the first practice. Okay, so I played in a metal band. Avenged Sevenfold was the reason I wanted to play guitar.
Understandable.
So I had a Sin Custom, white and gold. It was beautiful. And I didn't play guitar anymore, so I didn't have anything else except an acoustic and my very first guitar, which doesn't sound good anymore. I don't even know if it works. And I had a little 15-watt crate practice amp.
Oof.
And that's all I had because I didn't want to play guitar.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I showed up to practice with those, and the looks, like I could see immediately, they're like, oh no, I've upgraded.
Now it's a 20-watt practice.
Yes,
It's actually still a 15-watt, but it's bigger. It looks bigger.
It's got 1 tube in it though.
Yeah.
So I showed up to that, and then after a few practices, Jordan just wasn't feeling it, and that's okay. So then we put out another Craigslist ad, found Chris, who's our bassist. He's not here with us today. And we just kind of went as a 3-piece for a good year and a half, and I finally convinced everyone that, like, hey, another guitarist so I can focus more on vocals, just kind of do rhythm things would be phenomenal. So we put out a Craigslist ad, and we found Marty.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm really blown away right now because I've never heard about Jordan until this very moment.
Yeah, I think
it was
he
really
only
short-lived.
Yeah, he only came to like a couple practices. I think he only had the intro for. So when I met Alex, I was like, "This is what I want to do. This is like kind of my vision for the band.
Mhm.
He's like, okay, that sounds really cool. We got together. I think the first thing that ever came out of his guitar was a song called Cut the Ties, which I still think is like the breakdown bridge of that part is still like my favorite thing we have.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that came out of your guitar like the very first time we got together. And then Jordan, I think, just wrote the intro for it, and then he dipped.
Yeah.
Before we got Chris.
So we stole a good piece from Jordan. So shout out to Jordan if you're watching this.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it.
I don't even think it's the same.
No, it's not.
Oh. Well, still, shout out to Jordan. I want to meet you.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
inspiration is there.
Yeah.
The inspiration. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now we've got a couple more foundation questions, and these ones are just fun ones. We ask them every time. And this first one, it's definitely a crowd favorite. And we'll start at this end.
Oh boy.
What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
Oh, that's a good one. As far as I can remember, probably Devil Without a Cause by Kid Rock.
Okay.
It's like middle school.
Yeah, that's a purchase at age 12.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So for me, by the time I got into music, LimeWire existed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I bought my first album until I was 17.
And what was that
I
one?
think it was Paramore Brand New Eyes.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. So the pendulum swings from A to B. Perfect.
Yes.
All right. And then what about you?
My very first album that I purchased with my own money, I was working at Skate World when I was 14 years old out in Hillsboro.
Okay.
And that was one of the first things I purchased, and it was Alien Ant Farm Anthology.
Nice.
That was my very first album.
Quality.
And that was on the CD Walkman for at least 2 years straight.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. What was their other album? The one that Glow was on. Do you remember the name of it?
Oh.
They have more than one album?
They do.
Yeah, they do.
That album is, in my opinion, the better album.
Yeah. Nice.
Like Movies, Glow, it's such good songs.
Yes.
I wish they had not gone such a drastic different direction, but I like respect their choice like I do with any musician. But man, they were really doing something for a minute.
Mine kind of ties into my first concert because they were also my first concert, and I'm sure that's probably one of your questions.
That was exactly my next question. So we'll swing back this way.
All right, cool. So I got that album. I was obsessed with it. Went to see Alien Ant Farm, very first concert at the Roseland Theater.
Hell yeah.
And I was super stoked, enjoying myself. They weren't really into it for some reason. They seemed pretty frustrated to be there. And someone threw a bottle on stage and hit Dryden, the singer, in the head.
Oh, no.
And he's basically like, F you guys, we're out of here. And they just walked off stage, never played Smooth Criminal, never played Movies.
Oh, damn.
And so after that, I was like, I'm not ever listening to this band again. So that's why I do not know the other albums.
Damn. I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. You know, they just didn't like Portland or something. I don't know.
I don't like bottles being thrown at my head.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
be
fair.
honest. That's really low on my list of favorites.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I mean, after that, I don't think I went to see a concert for like 2 years because I was like, this is not fun.
This is what it's like?
Yeah.
I was just so angry.
Yeah, bad first concert, I guess. Anyway.
Hell yeah. And then what about you? You two?
My first concert was Taste of Chaos 2008. So it was Avenged
Went to that.
Sevenfold, Atreyu, Bullet for My Valentine,
Good.
a J metal band called Despair's Ray, Bless the Fall, which they became one of my favorite bands years later.
Yeah.
But it did not like that performance. And a
Understandable.
band called Idiot Pilot, if I'm remembering the back of my t-shirt
Yes.
correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I honestly don't remember mine as far as like a bigger venue. Like I've been to like the fairs, concerts and everything when I was really little. I remember like Ronnie Millsap.
Okay.
That is like Little River Band.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson was like, I don't know, all those people that came to the fair.
Hell yeah.
When we were really little. It was always super cool.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those bands.
yeah.
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 Hell yeah. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive on into you as the group, and we're going to talk about the here and now, but we're going to get a very easy one out of the way. How'd y'all pick the name?
All right, so you don't have a say in this.
No,
You
I
weren't-
have no idea.
You weren't around yet. I think we all just kind of came up with a list of things we liked, thought would be cool in our group chat. I think we got to like 10 or 15 names.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It wasn't me, but I don't remember who suggested the name. Was it you or Chris?
I think I did. I think I sent you guys like
I would take credit too if Chris wasn't here.
5 or 6.
If I were you.
I don't know. It was not like some big meaning behind it. It was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool.
And it has
and
like,
you guys picked it. And I was, okay.
I think me and Chris really enjoyed it because I was in the Army active duty and Chris is currently in the National Guard. And like, the
Which is
whole
why
thing
he's
in
not
the-
here. Yeah.
The whole thing, no, he's at a wedding.
Oh,
But the whole thing in the Army is like, you hurry up and wait. Like you're getting nowhere fast. So like, it just really, I think, sat with me and Chris well.
Oh, okay. So it did have a meaning.
You just didn't know it.
That's what I meant.
It resonated with members of the band
It
differently.
did.
and it's the reason why I joined the band. So I was like, perfect.
Oh.
I just want
good.
to
You
play
did have
dive
something
bars.
to add.
Yeah, I just want to play dive bars, man.
Hell yeah. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into your writing process. We're going to talk about making music, and we're going to start right at the beginning, and we'll start at this end. But what are some of the things y'all do to get started? What gets a track going?
I think probably the biggest way is, and this has happened more often than not. I think Alex will come in with his little voice memos.
Perfect.
He starts, gets guitar riffs and send us literally voice memos on the phone,
Mhm.
and they're all like acoustically, and so they'll come to us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty common. We'll just write our own parts to it and
Okay.
and make it, and then we go in the studio and we put things on it.
Yeah, and just to expand on that, I write that way. But a lot of us, I mean, we all write. Chris writes. Speak for him since he's not here. He pretty much writes every part for his songs. He's
Okay.
very specific about what he wants, but he's open to change.
Yeah.
But I'm not a drummer. I can play a little bit, but I'm not a drummer. And I'm not a bassist. So I like to write everything on my acoustic because I sing and play guitar in the band. And if I can make it sound good enough to me acoustically,
Yeah.
it's going to be great full band. And then I let them come up with parts without any bias. Like, this is what I was thinking. I want to see what they're thinking.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And it's worked out pretty well, I'd say.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, the last few songs we've worked on, the ideas have been introduced, and then we just kind of build on it. So I hear very obvious parts that need to be played when he sends these voice memos, and basically by the time we're at practice, the song's done in my mind. Like the Let It Burn, which is going to be a song on our new album, we cranked that out in like an hour. I mean, it was quick. And
Yeah.
Chris, he writes everything on an 8-track, which is really interesting. So there's like digital drums and stuff on it. He sent it to us. We all listened to it. We learned it. And then our first practice, we're like, let's play this song. We just played it straight through without
Oh, damn.
even stopping, just because we all knew what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that's the exact version that we're putting on the album today. So I'm pretty stoked. I have a recording studio at my house, basically.
Oh, you're
the
one of
songs that-
those.
Well, I did the solo album. I was really bored during the pandemic, so I built this little recording studio, and I made that solo album. But yeah, basically the songs that I write and present to the band have been kind of already done, and then they transform it into put their own finishing touches on it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I heard there's also a secret fifth member that shows up in a fair amount of recordings periodically.
So my pet bird, his name is Seymour. He's a little blue Pacific parrotlet.
Is his last name Butts?
No, that's copyright. So
Is that really?
asses. So it's a Simpsons joke.
Oh, shit. I had no idea.
Yeah. So Seymour asses.
Oh. YouTube, please don't flag me for this.
So when I do my little voice memo, it is just a voice memo recording on my phone. No special mic, no anything. I want it to be very raw because if they like it that way,
Yeah.
it's only going to get better from there. But
I like your focus on them appreciating it
Yeah.
as a full product when you
Absolutely.
send it to them. That's
I don't think they always really do. 'Cause I think like he mentioned Let It Burn. That's going to be a song on the album. It's personally my favorite. I was sitting on it for a year and a half. I wrote it like shortly after we recorded our first album, and I've just been sitting on it. And I sent it to him, and I was like, "Guys, I wrote the best Nowhere Fast song. I promise." And they're like, "Yeah, okay, we'll see." And there was so much. It was all press X to doubt. And then like the first time we all played it together, like I was just like looking around the room, and I could see they're like, "Wait a minute, hey, this is cool."
Hell yeah.
So, but anyway,
The problem though with him singing acoustic songs like that is they sound really good as acoustic songs.
But
Yeah,
that
and then
bird,
so I-
man.
so I like-
like break them down.
Yeah, so I'm like, I have no idea what I'm gonna like do for this.
Yeah.
And you start to like write each part, and it like the finished product now is like, you know,
Yeah.
it sounds really good, but at the same time,
Yeah,
it's
you almost have to deconstruct it to
Yeah.
reconstruct it.
like maybe we should like do a version of this acoustically on the album.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
but to answer your question, so while I'm doing these voice memos, my bird is very loudly giving me direction.
Okay. Hell yeah.
So he's on a lot of the voice memos.
Well,
Every
shout out
single one.
Yeah.
Shout out Seymour.
Yeah.
Y'all have to get him on like the last track. Like bring him in for just that. Just let him go wild and then just kind of
Chris
Stick it in
has
somewhere.
actually considered that. He's talked to me about it.
I support that. Another thing I wanted to mention, just because periodically bands mention cool approaches, kind of like, you know, sending it as a full thing acoustically first. You should try writing a song drums first. A band did that. I believe it was Drift Away. Don't quote me on that. Shout out Drift Away just in case. The drummer wrote the whole song for just drum, like just the drums, the entire, like what he thought the progression would sound like, and then brought it to the band, and the band was like, okay, well, give us a few minutes, and then like came back to him and were like, hey, if you can change this one part, I can play this, and it's really cool. And it was a really interesting approach. So I like to share it with bands because I think that's
Yeah, and honestly, I've started doing that too. Like I have 3 or 4 like drum intros like ready to go, and then that'll go to the next part. So I mean, I have done that before, like built the like bass and guitar parts around where the drums are going.
Yeah.
So I mean,
hell yeah.
yeah.
A lot of the songs that I write, I actually keep drums in mind. I forgot to mention earlier that that was my first instrument. I started drumming at a very young age, and I was in drum line through high school and all that stuff, and took drum lessons for many years. So when I start a song, I usually do have the concept of the drums in mind. And so when I send it over to Travis, he has kind of like the tempo and you know, whole overall vibe in mind. And then, but he's an incredible drummer, much better than I am for sure. And
If you started on drums, why did you move to guitar and not bass?
you know, that's a good question. I think it was my parents are deaf, and I think that I guess I don't really know. That's a good question. I mean, my dad, he's the one who purchased the guitar for me. I think I've always just been kind of geared towards guitar.
Gotcha.
And I just never really picked up the bass, or I never had access to one, so I never really got to learn. Yeah.
That's fair. Well, that was just a little side thought for me.
Yeah.
But getting back into this, and y'all kind of answered this next part already, but what's the general window of time that it takes from getting a song like written to being able to perform it fully?
That depends. Because me and Chris, and I actually think Marty too, like we always have like just songs on deck. We're always, I mean, most of the time when I pick up my guitar at home, I don't practice our songs at home.
Yeah, you just make
I just
music.
write new ones or learn something else.
Well, that's what practice is for.
Right. So we have a lot of them just kind of on deck. So like I said, some of mine were sitting for like 2 years, ready to go. But on the flip side, when we recorded our first album, we first had 8 songs, and we decided last minute, like already gone to the studio and started drums. Hey, we want 2 more songs. So me and Chris each wrote one in a week.
Oh, damn.
And they're great. No, they're great songs. I think they're some of our best songs, actually.
Okay.
So it really just depends on the situation and the time constraints we have.
Fair.
'Cause-
Yeah. I think for me, the duration is like Alex will send us something over the phone. And I'll go over it all week until we get together the next time. And then I think as a band, it's probably like an evening to like get the whole song over.
Finalized.
Yeah. So really not that long as far as like all of us as a band together.
Hell yeah.
The interesting thing about how we write songs is we don't really collaborate on our songwriting. Like we don't write the songs together. We are all individual musicians, and that's the interesting thing about being in this band is we can still continue to be very creative individually. And it just somehow cohesively works really well when we put our own concepts and ideas in. Like, for example, on our album, what I like about it is when you listen to it from start to finish, you get different vibes throughout. Chris is very much hardcore, just hardcore straight punk rock, old school punk rock. You're going to get a lot of those vibes. For me, I'm classic old school pop punk, like like Blink-182, Yellow Card, Newfound Glory. Just the core staples. And Alex is a much more of an emo type songwriter, so you're gonna get those influences that he's inspired by, like
Taking Back Sunday and Old to Use, bands like that. Those are my biggest inspirations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when we put it all together, it kind of creates the sound.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. All right. And then to wrap up this particular question, when do y'all feel comfortable releasing music, like getting it on like platforms and stuff for like people to hear, not when you're performing it?
Well, so we decided to do singles for the first album. We're generally, for the most part, we record everything kind of at once, with the exception being 2 songs that are going to be on our upcoming album, Lonely and Circles. They've been out for a year and a half.
Yeah, we play them live.
Because we didn't really know what we were going to do with those yet. We didn't know if we wanted to do like a short EP or what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I think we came to a realization, so we just started putting them out. And we were happy with the recordings. They sounded good. Throw them to the world. And then we decided, no, let's do an actual album again. We have enough songs. We might as well. So they're going to have a home. So.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that's what we're currently working on right now. Yeah, everyone's been coming over to the house. I'm tracking everything, and we're sending everything over to a friend of Chris's, and he's doing all the mastering and mixing for us.
Well, that's exciting.
So yeah, it's been great.
Hell yeah. All right. Now for this next question, we're going to start at this end. And this one, just think over all the songs you have that are currently playable and performable. Which song do you enjoy playing the most?
Well, that's a hard question too. A lot of them. Probably if I had to pick one, I don't know. They're all unique. As far as like, like we have a song Lonely. It's not the most like complex song on drums, but it's one you can just kind of play and kind of go a little bit more wild when you're playing it. And but then we have like Brittany Was Right, which is has a lot of stuff going on. We have a song called Sick 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 that has like cool little drum fills. So they all have like they're each individuality to them, and they're all really fun. I can't really pick a favorite.
Is there one song in particular that has your most like exciting moment? Like one, like just even like a part of a song where you're like, this is the one that I just go like 10% harder than everything else?
Probably, I would probably say Basement Song, just because it has so many elements to it. Like it has so many parts, and it's probably one of the more fun ones to play.
What about you?
For me, it's kind of a tie between 2. I really like Sick 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 because there's a little bit of like crowd involvement and things like that. It's a really fun one to sing, and it's also the one I wrote in a week.
Okay.
I've come to love it a lot. And then the other one for me is a song called Memory Lane. And it's because originally when we were a 3-piece, I wrote this cool little lead intro on guitar, and like I can play it and sing. I can do it, and I was for about a year. But my crowd engagement was this. Right? Because I'm playing something a little more intricate while trying to sing, and I have to see where I'm going. Yeah. Which is the whole reason I wanted to add another guitarist. The first time we played that song and I got to do the rhythm, it went from my least favorite song to play live to my favorite song to play live.
Damn.
So
that was just like a weight lifted off of
it. Absolutely was. And I can put so much more into it vocally live now. Like the recording gives it no justice for what it is live.
Oh yeah.
And for me, I was gonna say Memory Lane too, because I like playing that lead. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun part, and I also like singing harmonies in it too. It's pretty vocally busy for me as well, and it's a lot of fun. I think my other favorite is I Want to Play Pop Punk Baby. It's the first song on the album that they released that I first heard when it made me interested in joining the band. It just has this really unique, high energy, fun headbanging feel to it, and when we play it live, I feel that too still, and it's the crowd jumps up and down. It gets people moving. It's just got this flow to it that it's very catchy, and I feel that live, and so that's why it's my favorite.
And that's the one Chris wrote in a week.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. And then for this next one, this is, you guys can just kind of answer however you'd like. Do you have any fun stories playing shows as this band?
No, it's not fun.
Oh, I'd have to think about that. It's all fun. It's not all fun.
I guess any like particular like outlier stories, like one that would like jump out as like
Well, yeah, we went on tour.
And
Good question. Yeah.
we played a skate shop in LA.
okay.
To an all ages crowd. That was just surreal. New Found Glory put on a show during the pandemic, like a virtual.
Mhm.
So it was just cool. And then like the next day we played 921 Gilman, which is
94.
Say that one,
94.
924 Gilman.
It's 94. Numbers are hard.
Wait a second.
We played Gilman in Berkeley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to like stand where so many bands I listened to have stood.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the coolest moment for me in the
Oh, yeah.
band.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one like Green Day got started. Like
Oh, damn.
yeah,
Mhm.
like Billy Joe like painted Sweet Children up on the rafter, and just to like stand below it and look up and see it, like it was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Green Day, when they played When We Were Young, he had a 924 Gilman sticker on his guitar. It was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, every show we play has just been a blast. And what I love about it is we play little tiny dive bar shows
Mhm.
to, playing 924 Gilman. And we've been playing Dante's the last few times. And every show is, you just never know what to expect. Sometimes we're playing in front of 2 people. Sometimes we're playing in front of a big crowd, and it's, but it feels the same every time because we're together, we're playing the music that we love, and that's why we're all in it. We do it for us, and if people enjoy it, then that's great too.
Oh yeah.
I think the cool thing too, that the people that come to the show, like we could be playing in front of a big crowd, or we could be playing in front of like 5 people, but those 5 people like are as loud as
Yeah.
the big crowd, and so that's always like super cool to me.
Audience engagement, I think, can go a long way, especially when the numbers aren't there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, it makes a big difference for sure.
That actually reminds me, the last show we played, it was going to be our last for a while. We announced that.
Mhm.
This is a cool moment for me. I started seeing videos, people just, taking videos of the crowd while we were playing our last song, Brittany Was Right,
Mhm.
and people just screaming the words along.
Hell yeah.
So cool to me.
Hell yeah. Yeah, when the audience is singing along with you, that's like that. I'm not saying that's the like when you made it moment per se, but that's really affirming. You know what I mean? That hits differently on the inside when you like, especially when you like lose like one word and you hear everybody going, you're like, all right, hell yeah.
Yeah. And like the crowd participation, like he was talking about in our song 666, like we have the crowd do it for us.
Mhm.
And yeah, just to watch like other people's videos and like you hear everybody doing it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, this is super cool.
Hell yeah.
I think the most fun I've had in the band so far is watching Chris. I really wish he was here today, by the way, because
Yeah, shout out to Chris.
shout out to Chris. At the end of our show, he went full blown rock star and smashed his $1,500 bass
Oh damn.
for the crowd. And for me, it was really entertaining watching him feel really sad about it afterwards.
Oh, no.
So that's the most fun I've had.
Yeah. That's like in the moment thing. Like,
Yeah.
you got to do it. Especially
Yeah.
when that energy level was so high. It was,
It'll definitely be memorable for
Yeah.
everybody involved.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Completely missed it.
You were just off looking at other stuff.
I was just starting to tear down.
yeah.
Oh
missed
no.
I saw it like out of the corner of my eye. I was like, what the fuck is he doing over there?
Well, for anyone watching, if you come out to our next show, I'll break a guitar just for you.
Perfect.
There you
You're
go.
just gonna keep a
You
little
heard it here.
squire in the back that looks just
I'm
like your
breaking that
guitar.
slammer hammer for sure.
Oh.
My first guitar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now we've got one last question to go in the artist focus portion. And this one, it's going to be individual, but it's definitely the densest question in the show. And we'll go ahead and start at this end.
Okay.
We talk a lot about the things that happen because of music and like the interactions we have with everybody. But what is it that music gives back to you when it's just you and the music alone?
It's very easy for me. I'm an only child. I grew up with deaf parents, so I lived in a house my entire life in complete silence. Complete silence my entire life. Didn't really have a lot of friends. Music was everything to me. I mean, I listened to absolutely everything: funk, jazz, blues, rock, country. The one band that really did it all for me was listening to Alice in Chains. I even have an Alice in Chains tattoo. I mean, that was like the foundation for me. So when I heard that, it was like the first band that really like cut into my soul, and just like really resonated with me. And from then on, I was just instantly hooked and passionate about music. And so for me, it soothes my soul, from the times when I was really lonely and sad and anxious as a little kid growing up. And it was the only thing that kind of pulled me out of that depression and really saved me. So, and I think that's what it does for a lot of people, and but for me, it was really it got me out of the silence.
Oh yeah. I promise this isn't a poor taste joke, but did you get to choose all of the radio stations?
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I cranked it up as loud as I wanted, always.
I was gonna say, nobody ever told you not to.
Yeah, I had a Mesa Boogie triple rectifier half stack growing up. I saved up and got that. And I cranked that sucker as loud as I wanted, and it was the best feeling in the world.
Damn.
Yeah. Never got one single complaint except from the neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't care about them.
Yeah, boo.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, and what about you?
Music, I mean, I think he kind of hit the nail on the head. As someone who's dealt with depression a lot over their lives, music's always been really good at making me feel like I'm not alone, because clearly someone else wrote what I'm feeling. So they're feeling it too. So it's like its own sense of community without having anybody there.
Yeah.
Which is kind of my goal with my songs. Like we always joke that like I don't write happy songs in this band, because I just don't see personally the value in it. For like that's not going to help someone like feel like they're not alone.
Yeah.
Like if they're listening to a happy song, they're probably happy, and that's good for them. Love that.
Yeah.
But I just think it just helps you feel seen, helps you feel heard, which is all I'm trying to do with my music as well.
Oh, yeah. And that's interesting too, because I feel like that correlates back to, how you present music to the band, how you have it like prepared, but you want them to like, you want them to enjoy it
Right.
when you bring it to them. That seems like a really correlative aspect of just sharing that community concept. And I like that. I appreciate that you're like, I like to write sad songs in this instance because that's what I connect to.
Right.
Oh yeah. And then what about you?
I think for me, and especially being in this band and French Letters as well, I think it brought back just the joy of playing drums. You know what I mean? Because previous bands, like, it was work. Like, we had to be, online all the time. We had to be doing stuff all the time. Like, we would miss holidays because we had to go do this.
Yeah.
We would leave holidays. And so now it just brought back like, okay, I love this. You know what I mean? And especially the type of music too. It's super fun. Like Alex will bring in, like you said, some like an acoustic sadder song, but like the way it flows through us, like it builds so much that it's kind of like the music.
Yeah.
It just builds, you know what I mean? So being in this band, it's more about like the joy of playing drums, So that's what it does for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love that.
Therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely a recurring word that keeps showing up each time I ask this question. It's really interesting to see how everybody receives it differently to kind of gain that final outcome.
Yep.
I'm also doing a small segment that won't happen here, but for people who used to play sports and now do music and the correlative aspects between it. It's a really, I can't pinpoint which episode specifically, but eventually I'm going to put together a big thing on it. So,
There's sports people that do music.
yeah, I know, right?
I used to do a lot of
people.
I'm finding a lot of people who did sports before and either can't now or don't now. There's a recurring like reward that they get, or like a congruent experience that they find rewarding that was in sports that they can also get out of music for different reasons. And
We're
it's
just
cool.
creative athletes.
Yeah. I mean, those exist too. I'm just saying it's interesting to see the correlation between the two experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like me and my brother, we were very active kids. Like I played baseball for like 14 years, raced motocross, and now it's mostly music. But yeah, we were very busy children.
Oh, yeah.
You just proved me wrong.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into some hypothetical questions.
All right.
And these ones, literally, they're all made up, so there are no wrong answers. Sky's the limit.
We'll see.
And for this first one, this is just kind of an if you could, but if you could play a show with any one band, like any band, be a 2-band show, you guys can go first, second, it doesn't matter which, but in your own, like if you could each individually have the band play with one band, who would you want to be with?
I think everybody knows my answer.
I do. You might. Yeah.
I'd say Blink.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think for me it'd be Taking Back Sunday.
Okay.
For me, it would be Creed.
Okay, so we know who's going to be headlining now. But that lineup would actually be pretty solid as a show itself.
Right.
The Creed fans might be a little odd, but
No,
we will let it slide. No, I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. You know, I do have a guilty pleasure for Creed, but I think to seriously answer the question, hands down, if we can go back in time, it would be Alice in Chains. I mean, number one band to inspire me, and even to this day, you know, so that's who I'd pick.
Oh, yeah. And then subsequently, who's a local band that y'all are aware of that you haven't gotten to play a show with yet, but you would like to?
Ooh, this is a perfect opportunity to say our next show.
Okay.
So we're going to be playing Dante's on January 27th with a band called Noise Brigade.
Oh, yo, shout out Noise Brigade.
Yeah.
The Noise Brigade is funny for me because I moved to Alaska in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
right as they left.
Oh,
to come
no.
here. So I have never seen them play. Well, I have now.
Yeah.
Recently. But they were up in Alaska. Everyone was talking about Noise Brigade. They were so great, but I never got to see them because they had just missed them. But their drummer at the time, a man named Nick Vasquez, didn't go with them and became my drummer in my band in Alaska. So, like I have this little
yeah, you're attached to them in
tie
some
to
way.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're finally playing with them January 27th. So I'm really excited.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We'll have you replug that during the plug what's coming up next part for sure. But that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
For me, I was in my previous band. We used to play with a band called Brace the Fall all the time, and you know they broke up. My band broke up, and it turns out the drummer Cam for Brace the Fall is in a band called Hungry Diane now, and they're a 3-piece punk band, and they're a band that I just recently saw a couple weekends ago, and I absolutely want to play with them. They are. I mean, everyone listening, check them out. They're super fun, super high energy live, all established, really good musicians. It's a lot of fun, so that's who I'd pick.
Oh yeah.
Nice. For me, it's hard. I love all the bands we have had the opportunity to play with. You know, obviously they're all really cool. So I mean, that's hard to answer. You know, whatever comes up.
Oh, more I mean, like, are there any that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to play with yet that you would like to play with though?
Nowhere Fast.
Wait a second.
Yeah, they would be cool to play with someday. Yeah, that's hard. It's a hard question.
Just say your other band, French Letters, and we can move on.
We've played.
We've played with French.
Oh, that's true.
We have a few times, and it's funny because when we play, I'll have to play back to back because I don't want to set up my stuff twice. So we'll play, and that's just like an hour and a half of just straight through.
Oof.
Yeah. So every time we play with them, I'm like, all right, here we go.
Hey, I mean,
test the endurance on that one.
yeah. Do you usually?
But it's always fun playing with them. Yeah.
Do y'all usually go first and second when you two play shows together, or?
Yeah, whatever the lineup is, but we'll go back to back.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously it would be fun to play with them again.
Oh yeah.
So.
All right, and then for this next one, we'll go ahead and start at this end. If you could add one more instrument to the band, and it could be, I mean, really have fun with this question. You got, like, we know keyboard's the usual answer, but let's omit keyboard just for now. But if you could add any instrument, and if it's a complicated instrument, you could have it be played by somebody else, or you could play it yourself. What would you want?
I've been waiting to say it. Didgeridoo. We need the didgeridoo.
No. So there's two options you can't pick. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Restart.
Yeah, the didgeridoo.
Okay.
No, I think in all seriousness, we play to backing tracks right now.
Mhm.
And if the opportunity came, we would probably could use a keyboardist. So we have some synth in our songs, and having that live would be a cool addition, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Violin. Easy answer.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Wait,
Right.
I thought we had a Git fiddle already. No.
Yeah.
Now I just need the fiddle.
We're going to change our name to Yellow Card 2.
Wait,
The
but
sequel.
the emo is going to essentially. You yelled at me for that earlier. Hold on a minute. Okay, but that's definitely a solid answer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a good answer for kind of what this next record is. I would probably say a sick triangle,
Oh yeah,
you know?
electric triangle. Obviously.
Electric triangle.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then for this next one, it literally sky's the limits. And this will be kind of a personal answer one as well. But if the band could perform anywhere in the world, you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access, building stability, power, guaranteed best lineup, guaranteed best show. And it doesn't have to be a venue. But where would you want to perform?
I know right away. When We Were Young festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was probably just a highlight of my life. One of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Oh yeah.
It was in Las Vegas, 60,000 people. I mean, that energy is unparalleled.
I mean, shows in Vegas, because it wasn't it at the racetrack?
It's at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Oh man, I went to the first EDC in Vegas. It was at the racetrack, and that's just, they know how to throw shows.
Yeah.
Like Vegas is just equipped.
Yes.
It's a whole other world out there, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. And
Yeah.
this upcoming one's going to be insane.
Yes. We'll be there.
God.
Absolutely.
I haven't missed one yet, so I don't plan on it.
Yep.
Hell yeah. All right. And then what about you?
Well, I don't want to say the same answer as him.
I knew he was going to say that, so I had to
No,
say it
I
first.
actually wasn't. I was thinking of like cool landmarks to play.
Same.
I was like on the pyramids when you were like Las Vegas when we were young. Which house is the pyramids? Probably like the Amazon rainforest would be really cool. Just in the middle of the rainforest. If crowd isn't an issue, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to worry about hurting the forest or anything.
Correct. That was going to be my
Like
next thing.
in this hypothetical, everything will work out perfectly.
In this hypothetical, we get to the last song, final chorus, and then I'm eaten by an anaconda. Everything's perfect.
Nice. Nice.
I think I just officially understood the question.
No, your answer was
Yeah,
still, your answer was still good. Like
Yeah.
that, like, 'cause, I had somebody who said the Super Bowl, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
that's a cool, like, that's a really thoughtful answer. I like, that is something.
Yeah,
That is
true.
more than just like, because like a handful of people said the Moda Center, and that's
Yeah.
fine. Like that's
Yeah.
that's a great goal if that's your goal. But like the world, in the world,
The When We Were Young festival on a replica of the Titanic.
perfect,
That's what I want.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
What about you?
As far as like venues and kind of the way Marty was going, I'd say probably Music
Okay.
would be pretty dope for me.
Hell yeah.
If we were going where Alex went, I don't know, probably like the edge of the Grand Canyon or something. I don't know, something weird like that.
You wouldn't want to play in the Grand Canyon?
Well, yeah, it'd be cool too.
Just imagine a music video in the Grand Canyon. It's like every metalcore video from like the 2010s where they're in the desert.
Yeah.
But it's the Grand Canyon. It's the ultimate metalcore music video.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
the stage is
Yeah,
held
that
up
would
by
be it.
2 helicopters in the middle.
Yo.
There you go. Done.
Why is that actually a good
Done.
idea though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Went very Chris Angel on us there.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, suddenly you're poof on the stage.
Yeah.
2024 will make it happen.
All right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, and we'll go ahead and start at this end for this one. If you could get an album from anybody, anybody ever, they could have made a music yesterday, could have never, ever made music ever. But if you can get an album from one person, who would you want an album from? Or band, I guess, they'll count too.
I'm gonna have to think about this. You can go first.
Okay. I feel like Albert Einstein would make a great musician.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It'd be
yeah.
math rock, which isn't really my thing, but I want to hear it.
Fair. Did he
Yeah.
ever have kids?
I don't know.
Because if he did, it could
He
be
was too
dad
busy
rock.
solving problems. I
True.
don't think he had time to do that nasty stuff.
Fair. He was all up here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want an album from Elon Musk.
Ooh.
We're going
You know that
genius.
Tesla wave though.
Yeah, Tesla wave. But no, I want all the instruments to be made with Tesla parts.
He could do that.
He could.
He could do that.
Needs to get on it.
Yeah.
Cybertruck panels as the drums. It would be amazing.
Cybertruck with a Tesla wave. That's
Yes. Live streamed on
Something there.
X.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Yep. There's definitely something in there for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know. I can't answer that one.
You could just pick
Say
a
nowhere
normal
fast.
answer.
I would want one from Alex because I think it would be cool.
Oh yeah.
It would take up space in my garbage can. No.
What, you think he would press it to physical media? What, in this day and age?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's difficult.
All right. Well, if you think of one while we're going through to the end, feel free to shout
I
it.
will. Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead. We're going to start wrapping this up. Let's talk about what we can look forward to in the first quarter of 2024.
New album. We played our last show in October, and we're working on the new album, writing it. Probably the next few months.
There will be 15 songs on it. So it's a lot. We're very busy recording right now.
Yeah, it's a dense set list or track list.
Yeah, it's taken a while, but it'll be worth it. And we had this great opportunity with Noise Brigade to play in January, so we decided to take a little break from recording, and we're going to hop on the show at Dante's. It's January 27th, Saturday night.
Hell yeah.
Tickets available now.
We'll definitely have to swing by for that one because I missed their last one, so I definitely want to get on it.
Oh, there
Get
you
on
go.
one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then for this next one, I'll have y'all look at the camera and just tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find us on all social media platforms, all streaming services. Social media, we're Nowhere Fast PDX, and just search Nowhere Fast on Spotify, Tidal, whatever you use, Apple Music. Napster. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you'd like to put on while you're on here?
Shout out to Chris for not being able to be here with us. RIP.
Shout out to Lexi, Crisis Averted Booking. Look her up if you're a band and you need some booking or management. She's been great to us, booked our tour, books all of our shows, and we really appreciate her.
Yeah. And shout out, to all our fans, really, everybody that's come out. Delia's been a huge supporter. My wife, Bethany, the little kids at home,
Oh, yeah.
just everybody that's kind of been a part of the family so far.
Seymour the Bird.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. He's here in spirit as well.
Yeah.
All right. Now we've got one last question to go. But before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second.
It's yours.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the sponsor, Brothers Apothecary. Shout out. Remember, click the link below. Holidays aren't over yet. But now for the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation. Y'all can answer in whatever order you'd like. But what is an album that you think everybody should know?
For me, I keep saying Alice Chains. I'm going to stay away from that for now. I would
Try
say
something a little more obscure, maybe.
I'm going to say it might not even be obscure, but I think it's a foundation, at least for me and for everyone in our generation. Enema of the State, Blink-182. It's a staple. It brings back. You listen to it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's very
I think
obscure.
many people haven't heard that. I'm more like, what's like a kind of deep cut? Let's go. Yeah, like what's something that you wish more people knew that everybody should know?
I got this. There's a band called In Her Own Words that I've been following since 2017 with their first album. They're phenomenal. Their album Steady Glow is their second, but they don't have a bad one.
Hell yeah.
Everyone needs to listen to that band.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one. You turned me on to those guys too.
You turn me on too.
I would probably say, this is kind of a big one, but I would say City of Evil by Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, yeah.
Just going into like kind of the back of the album,
Yeah.
like instead of the bigger songs, like you go into the deep cuts and it's just so musically fantastic.
It was definitely one that I always had to cover for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not a skippable song on that.
No. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go stick with grunge and go Temple of the Dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a super group, and it's not really talked about anymore. So I think I need to bring it up for our current generation. Go check it out.
Yeah, if y'all want to be on the show, let's do it.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. This has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jam Box. I'm Jimmy.
This is T-Rav.
I'm Alex.
I'm Marty, and we're
Nowhere
nowhere fast.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.